We have traveled all over Kenya and East Africa to find hard-working farmers.
We want to celebrate them while giving them the knowledge they need to improve their farms,
get better yields,
and become profitable farmers. We will see how farmers across the region can learn from experts and from each other in every way.
Join us and our experts on this journey
and share their families' experiences as they make these changes.
Karibu to the Shamba Safari.
In the course of many different climatic seasons, we have visited many farmers.
We are back, revisiting some of the farmers to see if they've turned their shambas into good business. Karibu to Shamba Safari. Remember this hard-working mama called Helen? Helen had told us how her milk production had drastically reduced. So we decided to call on Dr. Kivuitu from Unga Farm Care. After a quick inspection of the cows and the shed, he identified the following problems.
Number one I've seen with the cow shed is that the sleeping area or the resting area is not comfortable for the cow. If this cow is not comfortable, it won't give you what you deserve from that cow or what you expect. Something else about the cow shed is about the feeding area. It's open to the sun and it's also open to the rain. So wherever you have some feeds here and it rains, the rain contaminates the feed which has remained here. So if we can get a roof at the feeding area, we'll be able to protect rainwater from getting into the feeding troughs.
Now, Helen, tell the expert, how many liters of milk do you get?
I get in between 5 and 6 liters per day.
Per day?
Yes.
From one cow?
Yes.
Is that good enough?
No, that one is not good enough from this good-looking cow, which has a potential of giving more milk if taken good care of.
Okay, what should Helen do?
The highest percentage of milk production and health of the cow comes from what you feed the cow.
We are back to see how she's been doing since the last time Shamba Safari was here. Helen!
Helen!
Yes.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Good to see you. How have you
Fine,
been?
fine. Fine, very fine.
Very fine.
Yes.
How has it been since the last time you were here?
Things have been so well and are moving very nicely.
You look well.
Yes.
So have you been able to turn the Shamba into a business?
If you can enter in my coffee garden here, you can see different changes.
Yes.
It has really produced. If you go down there in the maize farm, there is a lot of changes. So big crops have been able to manage the Shamba. I've also been able to do sales in D-rights, which have given me savings. Already I've started rearing a number of chicks. Right now I have 100 chicks.
100 chicks?
I'm also starting another project of dairy goods. I have 1 back and 2 females. You can see even changes in my cows. Yes. They are producing more milk.
Aha.
Yes.
Yeah, so whatever you learned, you kept it here and you practiced it.
Yes.
Okay. Well, Helen, we are back here, and as usual, we didn't come alone. We've come with an expert to help you again, especially with the cows. Are you ready for her?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Great.
All right. Seeing all the improvements in her Shamba, we have some more tips and advice for her. Helen, it's good to be back here. I can see our shed is still here, looking good. And you've cut the fodder into small bits, and this is quite good. Well done.
Thank you.
Apart from the napier grass, is there anything more you feed the cows?
Yes.
What do you feed them?
Maize fonda, Irish potato vines,
Yeah.
the green leaves from the bananas.
Aha. Well, Josephine, is that enough?
No, I can show you how you can integrate Caliandra fodder shrub into your ration and how you can increase your milk production through use of Caliandra.
Josephine, why is it important for Helen to feed her cows with Caliandra?
Caliandra is very important because it has a protein source. You can grow it at home. And again, it reduces the cost of production because you are growing it on farm. During the dry season, Caliandra will also continue producing. So it makes it easier for a farmer to have feed throughout the year. And you need to feed 6 kilos of Caliandra every day to your cow.
So how does she weigh the 6 kilos? Does she just go and cut the Caliandra and just then come and just feed the cows?
So you need to cut your Caliandra from your fodder hedge, and then now after cutting, you chop, and then after chopping now you can weigh to see it is 6 kilos.
I have cows of different ages. Do I feed them with the 6 kg, all of them?
Now I'll show you how to estimate the amount of feed to feed to your cow. What you need to know is that you need to have a weighing band. It's available at the shops. So we have the weigh band. This is called the weigh band, and this one helps the farmer to weigh the animal. If you don't have, you can just even use the ordinary tape measure, and then you can put around the heart guard of your animals, and I'll give you a conversion table which can tell you how many kilos your cow weighs.
So what Helen is feeding her cows, is that enough?
Okay, the 6 kg is including the branches, of course not the stem, but Caliandra alone is not enough.
Right.
Because this is just a source of protein. You'll also need to feed some other feed resources. For example, I can see Helen has napier grass, and she said she also feeds stovers. So you'll need we can make a ration from the feeds you have on farm. Right. We'll make a ration of Caliandra, a ration together with napier grass, plus stovers and silage, maize silage.
Let's talk of dry feed. How much should Helen feed her cows?
Okay, now with the cow which weighs 427 kilos, you take 3% of its weight to know how much dry matter to feed.
If your cow weighs about 300 kilograms, you will need to feed it a total of 3% of its body weight. And this is how you calculate. 300 times 3 divided by 100 is equals to 9 kilograms. In Helen's case, her cow weighs 427 kilograms. She will need to give it about 13 kilograms.
Out of 13, Helen, maybe you can take. So that gives you a total of 13 kilos.
How will I know when to cut my napier grass?
The best stage to cut is when it is 3 feet. Don't let it grow. Sometimes people let it grow up to 4 feet. Remember, you are losing the nutrients. So make sure you cut at 3 feet.
Remember, Caliandra is a good source of protein. It is drought tolerant and remains green even during the dry season. Since it is produced on the farm, it saves the farmer the cost of buying protein-based feeds. Helen is a fan of solar lights, and she knows how much a family can save by using solar instead of kerosene. She likes solar lights so much, she has become an agent for D-Light solar lamps in our area. But there is a new product from D-Light that she has not yet tested. Martin from D-Light is here to upgrade her. Martin, I'm sure you'll be happy to know that Helen has been using D-Light lamps.
I was very delighted
When you saw
I
D-Light.
walked in
Yeah.
and I saw D-Light on the roofs. it was very warm.
I saw the big smile.
Yes.
Now, Helen, how long have you been using D-Lights?
2 years.
2 years.
Yes.
And how has the experience been?
It has been so nice because it has been helping my daughters to do studies in the evening,
Yes.
and they have also improved.
In the education.
Yes.
Now they're number one in their class?
Yes.
Okay. What were you using before, remind me?
I was using hurricane lamps.
Hurricane lamps?
Yes.
Using paraffin?
Yes.
Was it costly?
So much.
And now?
I'm saving a lot of money from that. And even I had a problem. I had an allergic problem because of the paraffin.
Okay.
But now the problem is gone.
It's gone.
Yeah.
That makes me very happy because those are the problems that we are trying to solve. That people do not have to keep spending money on kerosene, that they can use that money in other ways to improve the lives of their families.
What have you got for Helen?
So what I have is a D-Light solar home system.
That is very great for me and my family.
Okay, very nice.
Martin, let's go fix this.
Let's go and fix this.
All right.
Let's find out how the D-Light experience has been for Helen and her family.
Wow, that's quite bright. Helen, how has D-Light been?
With the D-Light, it has been so nice because I've been able to save some amount of money from the paraffin I was buying before. I'm also selling D-Light to farmers, and I've also been able to start different projects. Right now, I have 100 chicks from the sales and the savings. I've also been able to do the farming in the best way because I have no problem in inputs. Today, I've already sold green maize for 10,000 shillings cash.
Wow.
Florence, how has it been with D-Light?
I'm very happy because it is helping me on studying. I even woke up in the morning to do my studies. It has helped me so much.
Really? So you're doing very good in class?
Yes, I'm doing even better than I was.
Oh, even better. Ah, that's very nice, very nice.
Helen, the future looks bright. It's a brand new day, and we have decided to drive to the eastern part of the country to Machakos to see how our other farmers are getting on.
Do you remember Onesimus? Onesimus tells us that he belongs to a farmer group that focuses on farming to improve their lives and has recently started building a greenhouse where they want to plant tomatoes. For a long time, Onesimus has been using DAP when planting. But having had his soil tested, we knew this had to change. So, to teach him how to change his soil for the better, we have invited an expert from Mayor Fertilizers to explain more. Paul, the results from the test are here.
Yes.
And as they indicate, pH is low and nitrogen pH is low. So what are your recommendations?
Maybe in the first place, Onesimus can tell us what he has been doing in the Shamba.
I've been planting beans, maize. I've been using DAP.
Okay.
And I've not been getting the better quality of beans that I've been expecting.
Okay.
So I'm not sure what I should do.
One thing that I would like you to know is that DAP is an acidifying fertilizer.
Yes.
It has been promoting to cause some acidity in your soil. So for now, we would like you first of all to change from using DAP. You need to use a fertilizer which is an NPK 10-26-10. We call it Mea Mazao 10. This fertilizer has got calcium, which is what you usually get when he's doing rhyming.
We had taught Onesimus about planting tomatoes in his greenhouse. Do you remember? Now, Paul, for this size of a greenhouse, what kind of tomatoes should Onesimus plant?
Actually, Onesimus, what is required to plant here, it's a tomato which will give him a very high yield, and you will also harvest for a long time, and it is also tolerant to most of the pests and the diseases. And I'm recommending him to plant Tilka F1.
Good. Now that you're happy with the greenhouse, how do we go about planting tomatoes?
Actually, at the moment, I'm very happy with the greenhouse, the setup and everything. We are going to start the transplanting.
Yes.
The most important thing is to be sure of the spacing from plant to plant. And that one we can do it when the ground is almost totally wet.
Yes.
Another thing they are required to do, it is to do the watering in the evening time. Yeah, almost 30 minutes per day. Yes.
All right, let's start planting. When transplanting tomato seedlings, dig the new bed and make holes 15 centimeters deep and 2 feet apart. Add a bottle cap of TSP and a handful of manure to the hole and mix well. Plant one seedling in each hole. Paul, now we have transplanted the tomatoes. I think now the best thing to do is to wait for a bumper harvest.
No, we don't do that.
What do we do?
We still have a process to go. One, after transplanting, you have to do the drenching of Actara. You put 80 grams of Actara in 10 to 20 liters of water, and then you do the drenching of the seedlings on the ground. Yeah, that is to deal with both sucking pest and the early pest and soil-borne pest.
Always weed your tomato crop well and top dress with CAN after 21 days to get bigger, better tomatoes. Let us see what the cost of planting this way is. One pack of tomato seedlings cost 250 shillings. 2 seed trays will cost 100 shillings each, which is 200 shillings. Fertilizer costs 2,000 shillings for the greenhouse. And of course, your labor needs to be counted. Not a bad price for a good outcome.
The first disease to deal with, it is what we call blight. And in our case, blight, we normally deal it with Ridomil. Ridomil, it's a chemical which is both preventive, curative, and eradicative for the blight. And the farmer has to use that one more thoroughly.
When does he apply Ridomil? After how many weeks?
Actually, after transplanting, he has to take about 2 weeks. At that point, already the seedling has established itself. Now you can be dealing with the Ridomil now to control the blight.
Yes.
But the best way it is to do the scouting to identify which disease or pest is there in the greenhouse.
So, Nesmas, you've heard from the expert. I'm hoping that in 75 days you're going to get a bumper harvest. Can you assure me that?
I would like to need to get the best product within those 75 days. Yes.
We have come back to see how this family has been doing after 6 months.
So, Christine, how have you been? How are the children?
Our children are okay. From the moment Shamba Shepherd brought us the knowledge, we learned how to live well, how to budget on our farm. Our neighbors also benefited. They usually ask us questions on farming, we show them how, and they go and show others. So, you gave us something precious.
Thank you so much.
Onesimus, how has it been?
Fine. We are proceeding to do well.
So, the progress is good?
The progress is quite fine. Yeah.
Good, let's go and show us.
Let's go.
Onesimus, what happened to the greenhouse?
By the time you were here, it was full carpet and we had already planted. But as we continued watering what was inside and trying to manage it, wind came to an extreme in our area, and due to its height, it tempered with a pepper thatted carpet. Then add that inside, making the pepper tearing into pieces. Then, instead of waiting it to be fully destroyed, we only removed the whole pepper, kept it aside for future use. So we are now waiting as time goes on to renovate our greenhouse and probably use more better materials that can sustain that amount of weather passing within our area.
So you're not giving up?
I cannot give up for one.
Good. When constructing a greenhouse, you should consider the following: sunlight direction, drainage, and the direction of the wind. Greenhouse structures are made from locally available materials like timber, poles, nails, and an ultraviolet treated polythene paper. The timber and poles are first coated with wood preservative to safeguard it from termites. The poles are made more firm in the ground using cement, guaranteeing the structure a lifespan of 5 years. You can grow different crops like tomatoes and capsicum.
The last time we were here, Onesimus was also taught about the use of the right fertilizer. Let's see if he took this advice. I can't believe my eyes. Last time there was no maize here.
There was nothing here that can be seen. But now as you can see, there are some maize.
So what exactly did you do to get all this?
I had a soil test with people of soil care. And the advice that he gave me did me good. The fertilizer they advised me to use, that was 23-23-0 instead of DAP. I used it by the time of planting. Although the line was really little, they managed to germinate. We could not top dress by the time they germinated. But almost at the height of knee height, we top dressed once and the line disappeared. So after that top dressing is now what you can see. Yes, you can see there are some streets of maize.
Looks very good. Looks very good.
We'll harvest just a little, but that was not our expectation. It is much better than what we get last time.
So Onesimus, let me ask you, how much are you expecting from this particular portion?
We expected about 15 to 18 bags of maize.
So Onesimus, what could you advise other farmers? What you've learned, especially from this area, what can they do better from what you've learned? Fertilizers?
As I can see, my area is equivalent to the other surrounding area.
Yes.
So what I can advise all the entire community and the entire farmers is that they should do all they can. Their soil to be tested.
Yes.
In the sense that they will know the right fertilizer to use and the right time to plant. Still, they will come to know how to hold that manure, that compost manure they get, how to apply it in their shambas, and how to mix with the fertilizer that they are advised to use.
Great.
Onesimus is now on his way to becoming a successful farmer with all the technical expert advice he has received from Shamba Safari.
And we are happy he has managed to overcome some of the setbacks he had, and we wish him all the best in the future.
Shamba Safari is happy to see that farmers are making changes and turning their shambas to good business. And we hope, with all the technical advice, you too will be shaped up.
We've covered so much, and if you are like me, you may not remember it all.
Weather, diseases, new crops, type of crops, cows, goats, chickens, markets,
and so much more.
Shamba Safari has a service to help you, so you don't have to remember everything.
It is called the AAK Shamba, and it can send information to help you know what to do on your farm and when to plant.
You can even call and talk to an expert if you get really stuck.
Just send an SMS with the word JOIN to 21606.
And you can shape yourself up anytime and anywhere. Shamba Safari is online. To learn more about today's topics or to watch any of our previous episodes, visit shambasafari.com, select the episode and click play. You could also visit our Facebook page, Shamba Safari, to get more information, get involved in discussions, and also get a chance to enter some of our great competition to win great prizes. You can also find us on Twitter at Shamba Safari or simply text 30606.